Cerullo. I'm with Stapp Interstate Toyota here in Frederick, Colorado, and I'm going to introduce you to the new 2017 Camry Hybrid. I'd like to start up front here with the front tire. This tire is an all-weather tire and designed to work with winter and summer driving. It also has an alloy wheel, which makes the handling of this car a little bit better. If you look closely in here, you'll notice that you have a disc brake. And disc brakes will allow you to get better braking, cooling off the brakes. It's much more efficient in this particular car. When we come around to the front end, you'll notice this sleek design. It's aerodynamically designed so that you can actually get better fuel economy from the design of the car. Up front here, it's real easy to get into. If you just roll your hand over, you'll notice where the lever is. It's an indented piece here. So it's really easy to unlatch this and open it up. And when you look inside, wow, you've got two engines in here. The electric hybrid engine, which runs all the time and runs the car, and then you've got the gas engine here, which assists the hybrid for when it's necessary to give it a little extra power. When you look up front here, everything is labeled and shown so that you don't have any questions about what you're looking at. You've got fuses and relays in this box. It's a simple little push, and that opens up, and you can see all the fuses and relays. Back here, you've got your brake fluid. You've got an air filter in here. And an air intake here. So what does that do? Air intakes. That's the breathing mechanism for your gas engine. The more efficient it is, the cleaner the air that goes in, the better fuel economy you're going to get, the better production from the engine is going to be available. You also have a cooling system up front for both your electric engine, the hybrid engine, and for the gas engine. So you have a container here and a container here that will feed into both of these and work to keep this cool. As far as what you need to do in the car from a maintenance standpoint is to look at the containers. Each one of the containers is clear and is marked very clearly on there of where your lower level is and where your higher level is on all the containers. You also have a really easy place to figure out where your oil dipstick is, so you can check your oil now and then, and where you put the oil in case you need to. Really easy, comes off pretty simply, and if you're wondering what oil should I use, it says it right on the cap, 0 weight to 20 SAE. So that's where your oil goes. Make sure it's that weight when you're putting it in. Again, you have some fuses and relays here for the car, and washer fluid right there. Pretty easy to work with. Okay? A couple of safety features. You've got a bumper that'll absorb a small hit from the front. So if you happen to bump into somebody in a parking lot or in your garage, it won't do great damage to the vehicle. If you should have an accident with the car in the front end, you've got crumple zones that are designed in here. And if you were to look closely on the inside, you'll notice that there are bends in the metal as it goes back, and those will compress to absorb the energy of the crash so that it doesn't get transferred back into the passenger compartment. Another thing that Toyota's done for years is they put a little hook on their hood. This attaches to another one, and again, I don't know if you can see down in here, right there, it goes like so. So as this is being pushed back, it actually connects in there and then allows the hood to bend at a predetermined spot so that it'll bend up and not push back into the windshield. Just really good engineering on their part from a safety standpoint. If if you come around to this side of the car, again, you'll notice the sleek lines of the vehicle. And this is all designed for airflow so that you get the most efficient driving through where it's not pushing back and causing excess energy to be wasted on the car. This is probably my favorite part because this mirror moves back and forth, and as so many people have, gotten too close to garage door, garage wall, another car, or just walking between cars. It makes it a lot easier to move that out of the way. Again, from a safety standpoint, also from a convenience standpoint. I want to talk to you about this windshield and the windshield wipers for a moment. It's real important that when you're driving, you can see out of your windshield. And one of the things that Toyota does is it gives you windshield wipers that are really large. Years back, there were small windshield wipers, covered whatever space on the windshield that it could, and frankly, they did adequate jobs. Today, they're designed so that as the wind comes up against them, they have these little designs where it acts like a spoiler. It'll actually push down on that windshield wiper so that it'll actually clean the window a little better. The other thing you need to notice is this driver's side wiper cuts over 60% of the windshield and clears it in one swipe, so that when you have the smaller one come over, it's not doing as much work and is able to keep that windshield clear so that you can see out the right side of the car and see what's going on there. Again, as you move back along the vehicle, I want to show you how much space you have in getting in and out of the car. Now, for the most part, people own cars and they drive them with one or two people in the vehicle. But when you have a family and you're putting a bunch of people in the car, you want to be able to get in and out of the car comfortably. Frankly, there are some of us that are getting older that need the room and the space to get in and get out without being hindered by the back door. So here, as you can see, I'm not a little guy. I can get in the car really easily and still have room around me. The fact that, if you can see this here, there's a lot of room between the seat and the front of the vehicle so you can swing your legs in comfortably and, again, not be hindered by that. As I get older, it becomes more important to me to have those kind of things. In this particular car, we have leather interior, and you can see that on the side of the passenger seat, you have electric seats so that you can adjust them to where you want it to be. As we move to the back seat, again, as people get in and out, comfort and the ability to get in and out unencumbered is really important. So what Toyota has done is push the wheels forward and back as far as it can, and instead of allowing a big hump here that you'd have to climb over to get into the back seat, they reduce that down to where there's no encumbering items in there to allow you to get in and out of the car. Again, really simple, just get in, and as you can see, it's really kind of comfortable to be able to sit in here. You can swing your legs around and get into the car. Now, for those that have children, we have child-proof safety door locks in here, and if you were here, I purposefully lock you in the car so you could see that you couldn't get out by pulling the handle. It's nice to know if your child reaches in there, grabs a handle, they're not going to be able to open the door while you're not aware of it. Okay? As we come back here, I want to show you the trunk. Quick little lever up front. If we had the key fob with us, we just press a button, this would open automatically. And you can see that this gets completely out of the way. So I used to do a lot of traveling, And one of the things that bothered me is that when I went to put my suitcases in the car and I leaned in to put them in there, these back trunk lids would come up this high and it would be difficult for me to maneuver in here. With Toyota, they come completely out of the way. They stand straight up, which gives me the ability to get in here. I'm not the tallest person in the world, but even a tall person has the ability to get in without, again, having the trouble of having something in their way. And if you look at this, this is a hybrid, which means that your battery sits back in here against the divider between the seat, the rear seat, and the trunk itself. Even with that space eliminated, you have a tremendous amount of space back here to put whatever you need to. This car comes with floor mats and a pad for the trunk. If you put something back here that gets a little dirty, you can take this out and shake it off or vacuum it off, allowing you not to get the felt backing on this stained or dirty, okay? Underneath that, so it's pretty easy to pick this up. Underneath that, you have your jack and your tools, and as you can see, this is pretty easy to get in and out of, okay? It has a place for all the tools, so they don't roll around back there making noises in the back. And then your spare tire is right there available for you also. Another thing with the hybrid that you should know about, if you come around to this side, there is a battery back here. If you noticed up in the front, there was no battery. This is where you jump your vehicle from. So it's always inside the car, it's not outside. Having elements get to it. Couple of little netting hooks back here, allowing you to put netting if you want to put bags of groceries in the netting. Works out pretty well too. And then this, if you pull this lever, then you can release this seat very easily. And that, as you can see, there's a flow-through space there, so that if you have, you can see through there, hello? If you have something that's longer than will fit in the trunk, you can put it through so that it fits through the back seat. Also, from a safety standpoint, recently we've heard of people getting thrown in the trunk of a car and driven away. This little item right here, with the little bit of light that is available, will glow in the dark. So if you ever get put in your trunk, this will be lit up for you, so you can know to pull it, and then it will automatically release the trunk so you can get out. Pretty easy again to close it and lock it up. And I'd like to show you the inside. So in a hybrid, the hybrid engine, the electric engine, runs all the time. So it powers everything in the vehicle. I can raise and lower the windows. I can run the air conditioning if I wanted to. Anything I wanted to do here, I can do, and with this car running, and not have the gas engine running. If you look at the dash, you can see that on there is a needle here that will either charge the car, run in eco mode, or in power. That changes depending upon your driving conditions. If I was slowing down, it would be charging the vehicle, because the braking system is also a charging system that allows the batteries to be charged up while you're braking. The ecosystem tells you how much of your battery you're actually using from the standpoint of the power and the drivability of the car. When you go into your power mode, you're eliminating your battery and you're actually using more of your gas engine with that, so you can watch it and see what's going on. There's a little light on the dash that says EV. That tells you that we're using solely the energy from the batteries at this point. You can toggle through your dash and change whatever you want to look at, from fuel economy to the audio sources, messages that you might have, and even work on the settings to change the settings as to whatever you want it to be in there. It gives you outside temperature and tells you what mode you're in from the Eco. You have your wipers right here, a little mist mode to allow the wipers to just strike once, and then the position that it's in right now is off. You have an intermittent, you have a speed intermittent on the side here, and you have washing where you pull it towards you and it'll actually wash the window. On this side are your headlights. So if we turned it to auto, because we're in a garage, it senses that it's a little darker, it'll turn those lights on. If I push them forward, it'll turn on the bright lights. You can see it through the reflection of the door, okay? And I can even flash the lights by pulling that towards me. Those lights will go on and off depending upon whether it's necessary to be on or off. During the day, they stay off. During the evening, they'll come on automatically. I won't have to think about touching them. In the center console here, you have a few neat things. You can turn the radio on by pushing this button right there, or you can turn it on by, hello, here it is, holding the mode button. And then you can change it from AM to FM, and then this is equipped with an XM antenna, and you get 90 days of XM on this for free, which is really nice. If you notice the screen here, it has 3 separate parts, and what you can do here in your setup screen is to go to that home screen, and you can either make it 2-panel or 3-panel. I like the 3-panel, and I can choose whichever I want to have the radio, my phone, and my clock there, or I can change this if I wanted to something else, whether I want it to be weather, and then when it comes back, it'll show me local weather right there. I can touch this little setup, and it'll go back to that screen there, and then I can work my general settings. So if I wanted to change the clock, I can do so. This one is set up on Eastern time, so we'll change that to Mountain time, and you can see the time changes right there. Language, units of measure, all these things can be worked out to what you want it to be. Same thing with the keyboard. If you're used to QWERTY, then that works also. Taking it back here, voice commands. This will teach your car what you sound like so that it can recognize your accents and all. So we go through this, we show you exactly what it does, from voice volume to recognition prompts, training the car as to what your voice sounds like, and it even has a tutorial to work with you on explaining why these things work this way, so you understand that. As you can go through here, you can set up your Bluetooth. If you have a phone that has Bluetooth, it's very easy to add it, and then it'll search for a phone, and once it gets that phone, hopefully it's yours, then it will then download the information to allow it to do its job. Also, audio, number of radio presets. It is up to 36. We have them all in here. You can have display cover art. So some stations will display the song and the album cover with it on there. So that's kind of neat to have. Automatic sound levelizer. I happen to have the window open, so if there are loud noises outside, the radio will adjust to that so that I can hear the radio a little bit better as we go around. Me back here, driver. This feature allows the system to link up some preferences using your phone. So if I set this up where I wanted to have certain radio stations available to me, and just overall customizing what I want to be available in the car, I can do that based on my phone. When I get in the car and it realizes my phone is in here, then it will change everything to my settings so that I can be comfortable if my wife was in the car and she was driving, and she could be comfortable because it would recognize her phone also to do those things. It's amazing what these cars will do over time. And then the vehicle itself, vehicle customization, door lock settings. You can actually decide how you want your door to lock or unlock. From shifting from parking to drive, you can have that happen, or at certain speeds you can have that open, unlock and lock at certain speeds. With your remote, if you press it twice, it unlocks all the doors. If you press it once, it doesn't. But if you want to change that, you just turn that off there. And the unlock feedback lights. So I've got that turned on. If we were outside the car and I pushed the lock on of the doors, then it would flash its lights and send off a sound also. And I can make it louder or less, or I can turn it off completely if I wanted to. Pretty cool car, really, when you think about it, with all the features that it has. One other thing, when you set up your phone in here, if you were to do so, it allows you to have 4 telephone numbers. If you have 4 people that you call on a pretty regular basis, it'll allow you to put those 4 numbers right in there, and in that way you don't have to search through for your numbers. You just press the button and it'll call whoever it is that you want it to be. Another really neat feature is your heating and air conditioning here. You notice that I've got it on low, and as I turn this up, I can change the temperatures on my side, which will also change the fan speed. And because I have it on, it will start the engine because I'm drawing more energy for the car. But as you can see, I can do mine and leave this one on low, which is about 60 degrees. So there's a 14-degree difference there, but I can put this up to over 85 degrees, and that will still be 60 degrees on that side, leaving your passenger to be comfortable. Now, if your passenger's temperature is too cold or too hot for you, I can reach over and see sync right there. If I touch that button, it will then allow me to control the temperature on both sides of the car. Another neat feature is this little compartment right here. Now, on our hybrids, we have a little device that allows you to charge your phone by just taking your phone, as long as it's got it on, as long as you have the proper device on your phone, you can throw it right in there, and while you're driving, well, it's hard to see a little bit there, but while you're driving, your phone will charge automatically if that's on. You also have a USB connection and a port connection there to allow you to charge your car or run music through to your vehicle without having to use the Bluetooth. And then of course the old power button that used to be called a cigarette lighter is in there also. This car has heated seats on both sides. It has an EV mode that tells the car that I only want to have the battery running on this. I don't want to have the engine starting. And I have an eco mode that balances it off. If it needs the gas engine to kick on, it will, but will allow the electric engine to work for the majority of the time. A little storage here, the center console, and a nice glove box right there. Your mirrors are designed. It has an auto feature on it, so that if someone comes in behind you, it will dim down the mirror, allowing you not to be blinded by the lights behind you. There's a storage unit here for your sunglasses, and these links will be set up to your garage doors or any electronic device that you want to work from your car itself. Lights up top for you, a way to keep the sun from your eyes, either on the side or up front, and a vanity mirror if you are and you need it. Toyota offers a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on the car. That covers the car virtually from one end to the other. However, what it doesn't cover is wearable parts and maintenance items. The wearable parts are your tires, your belts, your hoses, things along that line. The maintenance items are covered for 2 years, 25,000 miles. So anything that is suggested by Toyota to be maintenance on this car are covered for the first 2 years or 25,000 miles. They want to see every 5,000 miles. Your hybrid warranty is covering your battery for 8 years or 100,000 miles. It's a great car. If you came down and drove it, you'd realize how great a car it is. Toyota already knows that. Come down and see us.